Hey everyone, we're back at it. Classic Tabletop RPG Friday, and that means, you guessed it, we're getting right back into our Classic Traveler RPG series. But let me first tell you a little story, because something very interesting happened to me yesterday. So here I am, at my computer, doing my work. I get an email. I get an email from GDW, Game Designers Workshop. And I'm like, huh? And so I'm trying to think back, when did I put myself on an email letter for them? And don't remember. So I started to think, and I was like, wait a minute, I can only think of one thing. I've only been a part of Twitter for 2 months or so now. I think it was in May that I started of this year. And there were plenty of reasons why I wasn't on it before. But Elon's taking over, he's doing some good things. I like what he's doing, so I'm like, yeah, let me join. So I joined, got a couple of followers and whatever. And every time that I post something, it's obviously gonna have something to do with the RPG Elite Network. I don't get on there for personal stuff or all the rest of this. So every time that I do something here on the channel and I post it up on Twitter, I go ahead and I tag whoever it is that I'm posting the material on. So if it's something from Free League Publishing, like one of their games, I'll tag them. Same thing for Monty Cook Games, I'll tag them. And you guessed it, I have been tagging Traveler News, which is Mark Miller, who is the creator of Traveler. Him and a couple other dudes, like I said before in our video, but he's kind of spearheading this thing. That's the only way that I can think of that he got my email. Because I didn't give him my email. He probably just looked it up and just started sending me emails. And he just did this yesterday. So thank you very much, Mr. Miller. I appreciate the love, and I'm gonna give some right back at you right now. So in that email, what he said were a couple of things. I think this is just fantastic. Number one, we've been covering Classic Traveler, right? Specifically, we've been covering the starter set for Classic Traveler, which is still Classic Traveler. It's just got a few things missing. In the email that I received, I saw that he was giving away a PDF copy of a facsimile of Classic Traveler. We're talking the first, second, and third books, the original Classic Traveler. It's over on Drive-Thru RPG right now. So how you can get it, if you're watching this video, been thinking about getting it, and you're not sure, you can go over there. There'll be a link in the description below. There's also a paperback print-on-demand copy that you can get, all for the low, low price of $9. Classic Traveler for $9. Bruh, come on now. Can't beat that with a stick. Now, if you're more into the PDF thing and that's what you want, that's fine. But if you want something in your hands, then that is an available option for you as well. So again, down in the description below is a link. You can go there and get it, and you can follow along as you go through this series. Now, some things I may not do. I'm not doing every single detail about Traveler, just kind of the main Cliff Notes type of deal, because this series is going to be long anyway. But now you can at least follow along, and you can get it for free, and it's legit.
Say what?
You can't beat that with a stick, y'all. Okay, so now the next thing that I wanted to mention before we get into today's video is that tomorrow is a special day. Not sure if you're aware, because I wasn't aware until I got this email. But did you know that tomorrow is Traveler's birthday? It was originally released at Origins in 1977 on July 22nd. And so this video is coming out at an opportune moment. I'm going to say it now, but I'll probably put up a special post tomorrow as well, just to say, happy birthday, Traveler. Thank you, Mark Miller, and all of you guys who worked on this game. You've given us so much sci-fi tabletop RPG love for the past 40 plus years. I can't complain, and that's why I'm covering the game right now. You know what's up. Okay, y'all, let's get into this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into computers. Now, this is still kind of the same thing with designing my ship, the Phineas Javelin. It's part of it, but it's not. It's separate. You know, it's interconnected, so it's kind of in the middle of this thing. But we're still in the designing because we haven't really finished the design, because that's going to happen when we do deck plans. Ooh, but not doing that right now. We're going to do computers. We're going to talk about computers for a little bit. They're major, and so we'll do that. On the other side, I got a question of the vid for you. I know this was a long intro, but you know, hey, you got something out of it. Let's do this like we always do, and roll 'em. When you think about computers in Classic Traveler, you have to think about old school computers, not the ones today. Got to put it in context, y'all. We're talking about mainframes with their big, bulky computers, large units that take up too much space. I mean, shoot, today our phones have more processing power than those behemoths. Earlier in this mini-series, I mentioned computers in reference to the type that I was going to put into the Phineas Javelin and how much it would cost. Remember, 2 tons and it costs too much money. If you haven't seen that video, then you can check it out right here whenever you get a chance, but let us move on. Now, when we were going through and figuring out the computer for the Phineas Javelin, I had to pull up the computer table. And right here, you can see that it lists 9 different computers in 7 different models. Now, each model is known by the generic name, Model 1, Model 2, so on. Now, as I said before, the model number designates the jump capability that it can handle. Now, there are some other details that we did not look at when we were looking at the computer, and that is what we're going to cover today. When it comes to capacity, there are 2 things to consider, and you can see here with the slash in between these 2 numbers. You have to consider first, processing, and second, storage. Processing is how many programs a computer can run simultaneously, so RAM. Storage is how many computers it can hold in storage, hard drive. So my Model 2 computer for the Phineas can hold altogether 9 programs, 3 running and processing, 6 in storage. Tech level is simply how advanced a computer is. This is reflected primarily in its ability to process simultaneous programs and its storage space, just like today. So the higher for those 2 items, the higher the tech level and higher price tag, of course. And one thing to keep in mind is that the starport determines the tech level. So if you want a tech level 9 computer, you are not going to find it on a tech level 7 starport. The starport normally reflects the tech level of the world it is connected to, and we'll get into that once we get into world creation much later on. Software are the different programs a computer can run and store. Now, you can have more than your computer's capacity in software. You just can't run and store all of the programs in your computer at the same time. Think of it like this. Think of stuff that's online and offline. So your online stuff is your computer, its processing, and its immediate active storage. Then your offline stuff is just storage. If the computer's storage and processing is full, then you have to reprogram it with new software. So you have to remove a program and then replace it with a new one. For example, if you are just doing maneuver and all of a sudden you find yourself in a combat, then you want to take out your maneuver program and replace it with a maneuver evade program, if you have one, to leave room for some other things that you may need during the combat. Each piece of software has a title, cost, and space requirements that can be found on the software list. I just have a chunk of it here. The important detail you don't want to miss, though, is this one here, space. This is how many slots it will take to run or store an active online operation. So let me give you an example. Let's say the Phineas Javelin has a maneuver evade 2. That will take up 2 slots in storage or in processing. So for my Model 2 computer, if I put that in processing and ran that program, I would only have one other program I could run since the computer's processing capacity is 3. Now the list for the computer software is long, so I'm not going to get into all of that and cover all of that. I just want to cover some of what I call bread and butter programs that all ship owners should have. And the rest, you can look those up later when you get the game, buy the game, whatever. Remember, y'all, it's free now. Hint, hint. The maneuver program, most basic program that you will need because it will allow your ship to move. It actually interfaces with your maneuver drive. Remember, there's 3: power plant drive, maneuver drive, jump drive. When you're not in jump, this is how you're going to move. And if you don't have this, you will not be moving. So get maneuver. If you have a starship, and most of you will probably have a starship, this allows for FTL speeds, faster than light. Now, unless you're running a campaign based all in one system, one solar system maybe, then yeah, you're going to need this. This governs the use of the jump program by creating a flight plan for it. Now, I want you to look at this right here. This is rather expensive. It is 800,000 credits. It might be more economical for you to pay 10,000 credits at a starport, because you can do it, to get a flight plan. Now you have to do that every time, but still. All right, let's say, for example, you have a ship. It has jump 1. And we're just talking about in the life of your ship and how long you're going to be playing in a campaign. In order to hit that $800,000 that you paid for a generate program, you would have to make 80 jumps. Now, just think to yourself, in the course of the campaign, are you going to do 80 jumps? Let's say you had a jump 2 drive and you were just going to do jump 2 every time. Then it would be 40 jumps. Again, that is a lot of jumps before you pay for that program. Or maybe it's jump 3, 26 times on that one. I mean, that's getting into an area where you can kind of maybe make a decision, but it's still a lot of time. So you have to say, do I pay 800,000 now or just 10,000 as needed? It's up to you. This program works hand in hand with the generate program. This is how it works. You generate a flight plan. The flight plan gets loaded into the navigation, and the navigation uses it for jump. So this is a handy little program to have if during jump you don't want to run into things like, oh, I don't know, space debris and planets and, I don't know, maybe another starship. Yeah, you might want to get this program. Now, some people may say, arguably, that this is a program that you don't need, but I beg to differ. This program, you need to use your weapons to engage enemies, period, or targets at all. So let's say, for example, this is not another enemy ship, but it's something that you have to blast through. If you don't have target, it can't target it and can't use the turrets or the weapons in the turrets, so you're hit. Can't use it. Yes, get target, and it only takes up 1 storage space. However, doesn't give you any die modifiers, just a basic program. Yes, I consider this program something that you absolutely need. This is exactly what you think it is. Information on various subjects. Now, the main one would be planets. And if you use something like the planet identifier, which is kind of like the UPP, this is where this would be. However, it may include other information about the planet's landmarks or important individuals or past history, so on and so forth. So yes, the library is rather important to have. Even if it might be outdated or whatever, it's still good to have this information at your fingertips on your starship, because you need to know what you're going into, especially if it's a planet or something that you have never been to. So there's the first part of our, I think it's going to be 2-part series on computers. Might be longer, not quite sure. But on the second part, we're going to talk about writing your own computer programs. If you have somebody who has the computer skill, all the rest of that stuff probably won't be that long of a video, at least not as long as today's video was. But Hey, it is what it is. Hey, y'all, if you got any value out of this video, and I know that you did because I just told you how to get a free copy of Classic Traveler, so that alone should make you go ahead and do a brother a solid and crush the like button. Also, if you want to stick around a little bit longer than that, then you may want to click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I come out with videos every Tuesday and Friday. Also, folks, don't forget, just like I mentioned, free copy of Classic Travel. Now, it's a facsimile copy, but it's a free copy, man. Come on. And it's legit, 100%. Know what I mean? Or if you even want to get a hard copy, print on demand, $9. Come on, y'all. Come on. What's going on here? Go ahead and grab that. Or maybe you want a different version of Traveler. Hey, I like Traveler, I like the concept, I just wish I had, maybe another version. Well, I got Mongoose's Traveler, I got Mega Traveler, I got all the other Travelers. Links down in the description below. Gets to getting right now. All right, we got the question of the vid, folks. And hey, since it's Traveler's birthday tomorrow, might as well ask this question, right? Which one, out of all the ones that you know about, or maybe the ones that you're familiar with and have played or whatever, which one is your favorite Traveler? I mean, there's many iterations, and if you don't know, you could go back to the first video where I talked about the history, short history, and I didn't even include all of the versions of Traveler in that one. That was just a Cliff Note history lesson of Traveler. Hey, if you got a game this weekend, happy gaming, y'all. I got a game, y'all know what's up. I'm playing my One Ring, and I've got something really cool for my boys. So looking forward to this. But if you've got one, then I hope it's an RPG Elite session. I hope it's great. I hope it's fantastico. So until next Tuesday, y'all, God willing, y'all know what's up.
So exit, stage left.
Until then, a brother is just gonna have to say, peace! 5,000 leets. Yep, I am outie.